Yohane the Parhelion, Blaze in the Deep Blue, is officially set to launch on PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and on PC on November 16th. This is, of course, one of the two most recently revealed Yohane the Parhelion video games. The second one being, of course, Yohane the Parhelion Numusu in the Mirage, which is a deck builder card game set to release later in 2024. Today I wanted to introduce you guys to pretty much everything you need to know regarding Blaze and the Deep Blues, not just mechanics, which there's plenty of. It's a side-scrolling action-adventure game, but also the story as well, since this is, of course, a interesting Love Live Sunshine anime spin-off game with plenty of characters that players have pretty much known to love throughout the animated series. So once again, Yohane and the Parhelion is officially an anime spin-off of Love Live Sunshine. Yohane the Parhelion Blaze in the Deep Blue is a 2D action game set in officially a fantasy world, where you take control of Yohane as she ventures into a mysterious dungeon alongside her partner Lilabs. This is where she challenges different monster-infested labyrinths to rescue her missing friends. As Yohane crafts new equipment from the items that she finds, she gains different powers and essentially powers from her comrades, where she'll be able to explore more and more of the deep dungeon parts. As you explore these randomized layouts, making a hack and slash action experience fresh every time you go in. I'm going to be trying to leave a link in the description below for the official website, which recently just got updated with some details regarding the game, and the gameplay you should be able to see there is part of the official live stream that they held back at Tokyo Game Show as well. Regarding the actual areas that you're going to be exploring, first and foremost, you have your home base or Yohane's fortune parlor, where you pretty much get wishes and power-ups before each and every single run. The game is separated into different sections that you're going to be exploring in the typical Metroidvania action-adventure way. You have a sunken temple where you have plenty of hidden secrets, and it feels everything like it's underground. You have some ruins with different enemies as it spikes up the difficulty, and you need to watch out for things in the environment, kind of like traps, if you will, ready to kind of take you down. You also have the grotto, which is the first kind of like oceanic, more looking version of the maps or the areas, the labyrinth that you have access to, where it's some deep pockets of underground water encounters right before you get to the sunken volcano, where you pretty much are resurfacing back up on top, but you realize that the world is in full disarray. You also have access to a shipwrecked area where pretty much every enemy seems to be cursed in one way or another, and there's even entire areas that are pitch black altogether, so you don't necessarily know what to expect there. Another one of the maps is the Coral Hill, which is one of the more colorful ones and with the more unique set of enemies. You also have the Sea of Trees, which is a forest, but it's actually underground, so it does give a little bit of an interesting twist. And lastly, right before the big final story boss, you have Crystalline Grotto. This is a little bit of the same original grotto, but with more crystals surrounded the entire map. One of the things that will get you to all of these locations is the story. When an undersea dragon suddenly surfaces on the top of the ocean near Numusu, it becomes the talk of the town. Several of Yohane's curious friends venture in to investigate. However, not a single one eventually returns from said labyrinth. In order to rescue her friends, Yohane herself must brave the depths of the newly surfaced dungeon. She encounters fierce challenges such as monstrous fish and ever-changing corridors with different bosses to experience. Will Yohane be able to rescue her friends and uncover the mysteries? That's for you to be able to play and eventually discover. Some of the key mechanics you should be able to expect here in the typical Metroidvania experiences: exploring an expansive underwater set of dungeons. The powers here and the items that you collect are basically power-ups from your friends that they left behind for you to eventually proceed and eventually unlock more of the dungeons. Each one of the dungeons contain many different secrets and locations, like the aforementioned temples, ruins, and the sunken ship. And because it does have some rogue-like mechanics, but roguelite in general, experience, you do get to have a little bit of a different twist every time you enter the dungeons. You don't necessarily experience the same thing or the same path. They're going to be constantly changing each and every single time. The layout is a little bit different. What's interesting about this game is the crafting system. As you explore each one of the dungeons and defeat monsters, you'll be able to collect a variety of materials, and whenever you combine the materials, you'll be able to craft new weapons and accessories for Yohane at any time. You have the option to craft over 90 different recipes that become available throughout your entire experience, and you retain those powers to craft those abilities as you unlock them. So all you pretty much need is the materials, and you'll be able to unlock or be able to craft those items in subsequent runs as long as you have the proper materials. Once you learn those recipes, you get to keep them forever. But at the same time, your friends, as you kind of like progress through the game, your friends will be there to cheer you on, and they'll become kind of like support characters, if you will, as familiar faces from the anime fill out the colorful cast of characters bursting with personality. And actually something that you get to see very clearly here on the website, which once again, link in the description below, you get to see that, of course, not only do you have access to Yohane as the main protagonist and Lilaps, the doggy here, as your support, you also are going to be able to see power-ups that you get and conversations you get to have with Hanamaru. You're also going to be able to have conversations and exchanges with Dia as she supports you wherever she appears. You also have Ruby that is going to make an appearance, Chica as well, Yu, Kanan, Rico, and lastly Mary. So each one of them have their own unique, of course, story components to the aforementioned anime, but of course they're all going to have their very own support abilities as well. One of the things that you should know though is that they are not going to be available all at the same time. You kind of have to unlock them as you progress through the story. And for fans of the Love Live anime, or one of the things that I mentioned at the top of the video is that this is not the only video game that you're going to be able to get your hands on, as Yohane and the Parhelion, Numuzu in the Mirage, a deck builder roguelike card game, is also set to schedule to launch in early 2024. I'm gonna have a follow-up video talking about that game, as it was part of a massive set of reveals for anime fans of this franchise that are going to be able to get their hands on some of these games. But once again, this game is set to release officially on November 16th on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One, PC via Steam, and of course the Nintendo Switch later this year. But that's about all the information that I have for you guys today. Hopefully you are able to look forward to this one, because I know I will, as a big Castlevania roguelite experience. If you're brand new to my channel though, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, hit the bell to receive notifications when the videos go up, and as always, thank you so much for watching. See ya.